YouTube and welcome back to a Who review. I am Davros and I am a Whovian, and today I review Doctor Who, The Ark. So this is a 4-part serial from 1966 when the Doctor and his companions, Dodo and Peter, not Peter, what's his name? Peter Purves' character in Doctor Who. Dodo and Stephen. That's it, Stephen. Where the Doctor, Stephen and Dodo find themselves on this jungle like Eden, but then discover that they are actually on board an ark, a colony ark, which are taking the humans away from a dying Earth in the far future. And these human colonies are coexisting with a race of aliens called the Monoids, which are one-eyed alien creatures. And in this, Dodo has a cold, and the common cold is a virus which doesn't exist in the far future because no one's had it, and because no one's had it, no one's really got the strong immune system to fight it. So the Doctor has to race against the clock to try and find a vaccine to treat this cold, which he does eventually succeed in. And then they leave, only for what's been seconds for them has been over 7 centuries for the Ark, and the Ark reach their destination because they're on a 700-year voyage to this planet that they're going to. But in that 700 years, they've discovered that a revolution broke out. The Monoids have taken over the Ark. The humans, the Guardians that they're called, are being enslaved by them, and the Doctor has to try and stop the Monoids from destroying the Guardians and taking the refuge on the new planet for themselves. However, they do find that there was life on this planet, and there still is life, but it's just not physical life. And they refuse to let them live on this planet unless they resolve their differences. And of course, once the Doctor stops the head Monoid, Monoid number 1, and Monoid 2, they all come together and make a truce of some sorts, and the Doctor and Stephen and Dodo go off into time and space again. And of course, the conclusion to that serial sets things in motion for the next story. But yeah, in this I'm just reviewing the serial The Ark. So let's get on to my likes and dislikes. First of all, the likes. I liked it. I liked this serial. It didn't drag, and it wasn't boring. I thought that the story was alright. Like I say, it wasn't boring, didn't drag on. They wasted no time revealing the monster, which was the Monoids. And these Monoids are one-eyed creatures with groovy, shaggy hairdos that are like, oh, the 60s could ever do. That's what the Monoids are. They're 60s monsters. But if they should return in modern Doctor Who, which they could, because they were once referenced in the Time of the Doctor, and a little kid had a puppet of one. So yeah, the Monoids, could they come back? Maybe. And I think this is the only serial that they've ever been in. I don't think they've been in anything else. Was it there? Did they appear at the end of The Empress of Mars? Still, yeah, I like the Monoids, even though the effects for them are a bit poor. You can tell they are people in rubber suits. For that time, for the 60s, it looked good. And sometimes I like classic sci-fi where it's just practical stuff and you can tell it's a person in a suit, because bizarrely it works. I think it works for me anyway. So I thought the Monoids were nicely done. I also like the Guardians, the humans. Of course, there was one that I didn't like, who accused the Doctor and Stephen and Dodo of of trying to kill everyone. But then once the Doctor resolves that, they quickly change their tunes and stuff. Yeah, they were all right. The extras they had for this. I also like that this story wasn't a full-on continuation. Like I say, this story was in 4 parts, but there was like the first 2 episodes were like one story, and then the second 2 were like the same story, but felt like it like part 2. If they ended it after the second episode, which was titled The Plague, then they could have ended the serial there. And if they wanted to come back to it, they could have done a separate serial where they returned 700 years later, but they didn't. And I don't ever recall a classic serial doing that ever, or not doing it much. But yeah, I like what they did with it, how they didn't have a 4-part continuous story. I mean, it was a continuous story, but it had different settings. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I like that they had 2 different settings, like the before and after part of it. They even got some animals in this as well. They got like an iguana and some birds. They even got an actual baby elephant on it. I'm assuming it's a baby elephant because it wasn't too big. But they got a real elephant. I wonder if it's that elephant that urinated all over the Blue Peter studio. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they had some good effects in this. A lot practical, because like I say, they had, the 60s, they didn't have computers like today. So they had some good special effects, some good practical stuff. And yeah, this had quite a decent budget. My dislikes. Well, I guess I didn't like the whole jump to conclusions trope, like thinking they're accusing them of something bad, but yeah, this is, like I say, a pretty decent serial. I can't forget William Hartnell in this, playing the Doctor. I mean, bless the man. This was in his final years where he really wasn't feeling well, and yeah, he was struggling to keep it together, but he kept it together in this. Like I say, he played the Doctor well and was good in this, along with Peter Purves and Jackie Lane playing Dodo and Stephen. They were great supports. Well, I guess Dodo was a bit a bit lousy at the start and that, but yeah, it was an okay story, and I say check it out if you're a first Doctor fan. So, do I have anything else to add to this? I don't think so. So, Doctor Who, The Ark. My ratings now, I will give the performances, because I liked them. The performances get a 9. The visuals, they made them work. So, I'm giving the visuals an 8. The writing, I'll give that an 8. And my personal, I'll give it a 9, because it did entertain me and didn't bore me. Yeah, it was in black and white, but it worked. It works, and I like the Monoids. So there you go. There is my Who review on Doctor Who, The Ark. Have you seen this serial? Let me know all that down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. I've been Davros, the Whovian, and this has been my Who review, so until next time, run for your life.